Na'Vi will have first ban and first pick.
And it will be Tomb of the Spider Queen here for them, so we're on the money here at the moment. We're doing okay.
Good, good call. Now, some of the most popular picks here is Zagara, and then the general popular picks for first picks is like Leoric, Johanna, Uther, Jaina. So Leoric will be removed. One cool thing about Tomb of the Spider Queen to note is that the bottom and top lane are, especially the bottom lane, it's easier to reach for the attacker to cut off your retreat back to the safety of your own fort than it is for you to even be in the middle of the lane and pull back. Like, there's a very short and insidious backdoor to attacking bot lane people, and few people can safely collect gems if they are on the losing side, but Leoric can. He has a great comeback mechanic on this map to still be able to soak XP and get gems even when the other team is winning. So removing that can give a momentum to the winning team.
It's a good point, and it's one of the reasons as well why we see a lot of Zagara. Zagara being able to place down creep tumors, she deals with the issue in another way. She's always got a good vision and will be able to holding off. And wow, a Muradin ban as first ban for Dignitas. Big respect going over to Na'Vi here. They took it away from them in the first game. It's time to ban it in this one.
Yeah. Wow, okay. So first pick going to go to Na'Vi. Are they going to go with Zagara, play map control style? Will they go for Johanna to maybe set up a possible Azmodan follow-up and also remove the choice of... Maybe they will force Dignitas to ban Azmodan at some point? Or are they going to go for Uther to give rise to potential melee assassins? Or Jaina or Kel'Thas to have a strong damage dealer, which can basically lead to anything? Lots of choices here, and it's up to Na'Vi to make that decision.
All right, well... as you say, a lot of options here. As we will see Na'Vi going towards...
They're taking their time.
They are. They're very, very, very... I mean, there's so many options.
I would like to just see the Uther as it gives you pretty much, I feel like, the most draft options of everything. Suddenly the opponent has to consider melee assassins. And with Muradin being removed, Muradin is one of the best melee assassin counters because of his attack speed slow at the level 1 talent. So we do see that Uther. And at that point, Johanna, great wave clear, Kel'Thas, important damage. It's all quite contested picks.
Oh, and Arthas comes in as well. And Kerrigan, oh my! Yes. Oh, that's such an aggressive start out of Na'Vi.
Fireworks.
They didn't even delay. They were just like, all right, we see a Kel'Thas.
The thing is, boom. You have Uther. The enemy cannot take Kerrigan because they don't have Uther. Kerrigan combines most well with it. And they can't ban it either.
Yeah.
So it's just such a no-brainer to go for such a strong roaming composition.
And the ban on Tyrande coming out from Dignitas.
Like,
they are scared.
Please, not more capability of picking off single or double targets.
Yeah.
Because if Kerrigan lands a stun on 2 people, Lunar Flare can do the same.
Yes. This is already pretty scary here for Dignitas. I mean, them coming out with that Tyrande ban instantaneously, it's like,
You're not going to get that.
We've already taken too much punishment from your first 3 picks.
Now, I think they should ban Zeratul. It's like so obvious that when Kerrigan jumps in, Uther slightly trailing behind, that you don't want to allow the enemy to have Zeratul. If Kerrigan jumps in and doesn't get to have her BFF Uther there behind her to Divine Shield her, that could make your mid-game strategy fall. Not so much your early game, but your mid-game. And Zeratul is also a powerful ganker and anti-ganker. So
it's a really good call. I mean,
very obvious.
There's not much more that is going to provide you that kind of potential in this game. Void Prism is something that is unrivaled, basically. Zagara may end up coming out for Team Dignitas, and that might be their attempt to try and deal with it.
She's the closest thing you can get to it.
Yes.
And it would also be an excellent choice based on what there is so far. They would be completely settled in terms of damage. They could pick another warrior or a healer. Now, the healer, they don't need to pick it because I think, Tyrael, Zagara, probably. They don't need to pick a healer because Uther's already there. They can leave it for last. So which damage do they want to take? I think Zagara is excellent.
Yeah,
I don't see something that could do the same thing.
If you don't take Zagara here, and Na'Vi pick it up as one of their damage dealers, I mean, it doesn't quite synergize as well with anything, but Devouring Maw can help out so much in any situation, really.
If you get them all, you have a guaranteed Kerrigan combo on enemies. Whoa, I'm so surprised and a little disgusted by that.
Sylvanas and wow.
They were so sure about it too.
They've been sure this whole... How many seconds have they taken in this draft? Really
well, they took a lot for Uther.
Yeah, the Zeratul ban was
5 seconds for the rest.
Yeah, seems so.
Wow.
Zagara has to be the pick, surely.
I think so.
Oh, there's so much push as well in Navi.
I mean, you've got 4 frontliners. You've got a composition that is almost unbeatable in its firepower if they are left to their own devices. So you need to take something that does disruption. Sanctification is part of it. If he doesn't get hit by stuns and he stands a bit to the back, he can save people. But they need a damage dealer, I think. You know what? They could go for a warrior.
They could, yeah, and just
Possibly.
try and fully protect.
Yeah. Like, just have people that have escapes. Eldruin's Might before the stun combination.
Is Sonya the way? No, Tassadar is the way.
Oh.
They have had this as a niche pick for a long time on Tomb of the Spider Queen. It's not only about vision control and things like that, but they've relied on it in the past quite a lot.
So you shield people that get comboed. Add splash damage, and Uther has a bit of trouble to out-heal splash damage sometimes.
I mean, in theory, there could be Force Wall.
I'm thinking Force Wall, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's...
But it can be unreliable.
Yes.
Huh.
In theory,
I think the play is Force Wall. And then Kael'thas continues to do poke damage. While Force Wall, I don't think you can use Force Wall too well reactively, because Uther can pretty much reach over the Force Wall or around to help Kerrigan.
One thing's for sure is that if they do go down that path, they're picking and choosing their fights every single step of the way. They cannot go into a fight on Navi's terms, because I think Navi just wins the fight.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Like that's as cut and dry as I feel it is.
They're
In
so
an extreme
explosive.
way. Yes, in an extreme way, they are very explosive.
Now with Sylvanas here, they also have the advantage that if they're leading the early game, they will just snowball it. Shutting down the opponent's forts is not very useful when you're only defending. But when you're attacking, that is a very powerful tool to have. So, and even if it wasn't Sylvanas, they could do it with Syndragosa. But I do think you don't need Syndragosa when you have Sylvanas. And Kerrigan and Nubarak and Uther and Arthas, they give you that early game advantage potentially.
That's actually something that you pointed out there that is also very important, is that you don't need Syndragosa as Arthas when you've got Sylvanas with you. Now let's just quickly kind of talk over that for maybe some of the newer people that are in Heroes of the Storm. The trait that Sylvanas has is called Black Arrow, which basically locks down buildings from being able to fire, also minions. Arthas can technically take Syndragosa at level 10 as well, which also does the same job against buildings, and if he did take it, it would be ridiculous push power.
Yeah, it's like a heroic that for 20 seconds shuts down a large arc, large array of enemy buildings, but probably not needed.
Not required too much. Just give him some sustainability. The reason he is here for the most part is to Howling Blast, to be in the middle of them, slowing them all down for a prolonged period of time.
Now, there's one point that complicates the issue of the heroic choice for Arthas. If he takes Army of the Dead, that's a huge deal to play against Kael'thas. Those little zombies are uncontrollable. They're always in tight proximity around Arthas. So that's the dream of chain bomb spread for the living bombs of Kael'thas. So perhaps we will still see Syndragosa. And not just to shut down enemy buildings, but actually to make a really reliable engagement on the opponents who are slowed and allow Kerrigan to close the distance. Once again, Force Wall right after Syndragosa could be the key for them to prevent the power spikes of Na'Vi to take full effect and win the fight explosively so.
This is going to be interesting. We have questions to answer, that's for sure, as we get into Tomb of the Spider Queen here for game number 2 between Dignitas and Na'Vi. At the moment, Na'Vi looking on point and also crafting themselves some brilliant little drafts here at the beginning of this series.
Yeah.
And now we're going to get into game number 2 as we load up onto Tomb of the Spider Queen.
All right, Tomb of the Spider Queen. It's Na'Vi versus Team Dignitas, freshly coined as Team Dignitas, one of the most promising scenes in the European scene now. And we've got to the left side here, ADRD, Snitch, Aethero Angel, Zarmony, and Bakery on Dignitas. And on the right side, we've got JPL, Alex the Prodigy, Schwimpy, Eternal, and Splendor on Natus Vincere. And what they're doing here is actually body blocking the minions to make them arrive slightly slower in the middle, which means that the fight position of the lane will be slightly on their side. And what that does is, if the enemy wants to soak experience, they've got to be slightly closer to the Natus Vincere side, which gives them more potential to pick off people with Kerrigan.
Yeah,
it's kind of a cute move, and why not?
Yeah, it's a very, very nice little move to come out from them. Splendor's already taking some damage. He will back off, though, and be totally fine. We're already seeing that 4 were up towards the top. And JPL is going to just make sure he's not losing any experience towards the mid lane. Clean that up as it rotates round. Uh-oh.
Kerrigan looking to jump in there, try and pick someone off. Lots of the... Oh, wow. Getting the lockdown on Tassadar he still had his dimensional shift. Manages to get away. It takes a lot of damage, however, and will probably need to Hearthstone out. Yeah. He does it right at the gate.
I mean, overall, out of the targets that you can go for, that's probably not the one you want. Someone who can dimensional shift away, very, very easy to actually keep himself alive with that kind of ability.
But it was kind of close, right? He was on 10% life. Now, it should be noted that many of the players on Team Dignitas have their own natural escape. In fact, each one except Kel'Thas.
Oh, Uther's going to end up getting ripped apart there during all of that. So that's a good pickup. And then to actually note, we have Lost Soul being taken here. So a cooldown reduction on that dagger by 2 seconds. It's become a lot popular over the past couple of months.
Yeah, not playing Sylvanas as much as an assassin anymore with the Withering Fire and the range on the Q, but instead providing the synergy between her level 16 talent and the 1, where she has the Cold Embrace and does vulnerability debuff on the entire enemy team, having them take more damage more often.
You also see a lot of Sylvanas recently taking even the level 7 talent to buff the dagger as well, just to give it a little bit of extra lifesteal. Something that can come along, definitely.
Probably not on this map with such an appealing, unstable poison explosion with all the little spider web weavers.
So important to actually be able to clean those kind of lanes up as quickly as possible, that is for sure.
Eternal setting the trap there on Kerrigan has so far refrained from headlong rushes at the wrong time, trying to jump in and force an engagement too much, but he's always on the ready. Maybe we'll try to jump in here. There's still Iron Skin for Johanna. Hammer of Justice will get blocked out. Excellent timing there on Johanna's Iron Skin.
Zamani very happy to stick around at the front of that lane as well, so just going to be able to push that away. And overall, we have Mental Acuity coming in for level 4 here for Tassadar once again, so that's going to allow a bit more vision to see these rotations as they come along, but stun already goes down from Splendor. No follow-up, though.
Sylvanas with the Envenom. Eternal taking a lot of damage, doing the pull in there on Kel'Thas. He is being blocked by Alex the Pro G with the Frozen Waste there, and Anub'arak comes in and gets the guaranteed kill, but it wasn't exactly for free with Sylvanas being taken out as well. And this is a full team fight in swing. Kerrigan with the beautiful combo of the Impaling Blades and the Sweeping Grasp, and we'll get 2 more takedowns and a 3rd.
They really overstayed their welcome there, especially when they're going to get clumped up like that. You can't do that against a Kerrigan in these situations. You mentioned it perfectly. That kind of combo later on, that won them that fight and got them a 3 extra kill.
Yeah, and with Anub'arak rotating up there from the bottom, managed to get that Kel'Thas kill more easily and add his firepower. Locust Needles, by the way, on Anub'arak to be a better wave clearer, and it also offers some extra damage to something that Kerrigan likes to do, which is to group people up and bunch them together and stun them. So pretty cool.
I mean, even the Envenom being taken at level 4 here for Sylvanas adds that extra little bit of kill pressure and potential that they have in this kind of composition. Arthas and Kerrigan, for the longest time, patches ago, used to be the ultimate killers, the ultimate roamers.
Man. When I started Heroes at the beginning of this year, end of last year, Arthas Kerrigan were so difficult to prevent dying against. There are some tricks to go against it, but this isn't just any lockdown. We've also got Uther and Anub'arak, so very lethal combination. Note, by the way, that Anub'arak not taking Legion of Beetles at level 4 is also a smart choice against Kel'Thas, because more Beetles will also provide more targets for Chain Bomb to spread. So that wouldn't necessarily be a smart choice. Sorry, we missed that material takedown there. And now you see the power of a leading team with Sylvanas completely nullifying the defenses here on this fort and taking a huge momentum swing in favor of Na'Vi.
And this means this Web Weaver is all the more stronger when it comes on towards the next wall. They might try and set themselves up a trap here, though. Doesn't look like it. They're just going to swing on around. They could see that the majority of their opponent's team were up towards the top. That's another stun. Do they continue following up? Doesn't look like it. Just next to the wall, Johanna would have potentially been able to survive with Iron Skin.
You see, Dignitas, they don't want to force an engagement too hard. They were kind of wanted to defend every lane. This one is going to just be left behind. They're pretty healthy in terms of health and mana, certainly more so than Na'Vi. and 1 hero level difference isn't enough to be afraid of Na'Vi. So Dignitas basically wanted to fight, but a very small retreat from Natus Vincere.
Yeah. Something that's interesting about Kerrigan as well when we see her is that she did have a rework recently, and the fact that she has all of these talents with Siphoning Impact and Clean Kill available to her means that she actually has some pretty good wave clear if you manage the damage well, being able to jump around and have no cooldown on your jump. So it's very, very powerful as well.
Snitch, the prime target for Kerrigan to try and take down, but he took a pretty safe path. Level 10 is almost within tasting difference for Na'Vi, so an engagement now might not be in the cards for them ideally. They just want to clear this bruiser, get level 10, and then get some advantage.
Already trying to turn in here. This is an ambitious turn in because they're right in the range here of Splendor and the guys. But ADRD manages to turn in 17, so they're only 10 away. Athero has those 10, but level 10 is about to hit here for Na'Vi, so they're going to have to back off.
Omega Storm, Divine Shield, Wailing Arrow, Army of the Dead anyway, so he's not afraid of the Chain Bomb. And Nubarak is still pontificating.
They go to boss. They start boss.
Wow.
Eldarin's Might spots it, though. You can't do that just yet. But actually, they probably could, to be fair. With the amount of power that they have behind their level 10s, you can't rival it.
If they continue to try and cap it, Dignitas could potentially do some damage. But you know that Na'Vi will just disengage if that happens.
Yeah.
They're not going to stay in there.
And they're looking to still continue on with
are.
this. It's going to try and rival out against the Web Weavers that have already descended here for Na'Vi. And Athero, this is too early. He's not going to have Holy Ground, so he's not going to try and capture that anytime soon.
It is not your time, little one.
No.
2 people still in bottom lane previously. Now Tassadar keeping the fort. They did get that payoff, so that's something to be happy about. And I even think that Na'Vi, well, they gave maybe too much space. Yes, you get the boss, but they gave the payoff. But they're going to be able to clear pretty easily.
Oop, got to be careful. JPL and Alex the Pro G up towards the top. JPL's going to mount up, so he'll be able to get away. When's the Wraithwalk going to come out from Alex the Pro G? He's not even playing the Oracle. What am I on about? It looks like he's going to end up falling on the Arthas. And that is a little bit of a shame. There was a good rotation around there for Dignitas to now try and make up some ground.
But an easy pick-off, don't you think? Don't you feel like Na'Vi sacrificed their ongoing momentum by getting the boss? It took kind of long.
Maybe.
It was obvious. They gave a turn in, and now suddenly they don't have heroic advantage.
You could make that argument. And whoa, look at that. Speaking of heroic advantage, Sanctification comes out for Tyrael.
That makes sense.
Yeah, really like it against this composition. If you can make everyone invulnerable.
You can instantly remove Mass Cleanse, so to speak, plus Invulnerability.
Yeah.
All of Kerrigan's stun, Wailing Arrow, you can either block it, pre-block it, or you can remove it after it has been done, as long as you position yourself well. If he gets stunned, that's lights out.
And imagine if a boss fight goes down, and he is later on, he has Holy Ground, he has the potential to Sanctification his team if he needs it. He's going to Eldrarune's Might out of here, is Athero, and that is okay for him.
No Force Wall.
No Force Wall, importantly. That is
Sanctification does that better anyway.
Yes.
So
we kind of neglected that a little bit, but it is powerful. Is now just sticking around as the 5 at the moment, trying to soak up wherever they can. The easy camp's going to be cleaned up very quickly by JPL and the boys down towards the bottom.
Now we see a group up by Na'Vi. They're going to push into the middle fort, get very close to 13, and then hopefully force an engagement right after that. This is a free fort. It's very risky for Dignitas to defend 5v5. Often you see on Hero League that people, you press a button, they react. You attack middle, they defend middle, but that's not the best way of doing things. You can defend top for free, and then you can still defend middle. If you do it the other way around, top is going to do a lot of damage by itself for free. So this is the right order, and I could even argue that they should have defended bottom first. But since that fort is already down, they went to the middle instead. Nice save there on ADRD. It was kind of buttock clenching.
That was extreme damage very, very quickly. They've got to be so careful about that. At least they get themselves the Web Weaver with the poke that they've got. That's the one advantage that Dignitas has right now with this kind of composition. They do have good poke in the Flame Strike, in the Psionic Wave, but at the same time, or Psionic Storm even, I should say, but I mean, does it do enough damage to hold off the torrent of aggression that we're seeing? Not right now.
Yeah, it's not bursty. Tassadar will generally clean up people after a long engagement. He's not very flashy in the beginning, but he's not easy to kill either.
If they can stall out the game to later on and we see Twilight Archon come in, yeah, then maybe things can really kind of head their direction then. But even the steal, the simplest of steals, they didn't even have to fight them for it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, Kerrigan is generally a hero that drops off post level 13, 16.
I agree.
She's not weak, but she does have more early game value.
I mean,
for Kael'thas, it's kind of the opposite. He has his power spike at level 13.
Yeah, you're totally on the money with that. The more defensive cooldowns the opponents get, the less likely Kerrigan is able to do anything. Once we hit level 20s, for example, when Kael'thas has Blink, you're going to see a combo hit? Probably not.
Yeah.
Kael'thas will be on point unless he gets locked down from another stun beforehand.
Did you see what Eternal did? He just did a Ravage on Tassadar. You often don't need to do your combo, and you will already proc the enemy's Vault or Deep Shift.
I get you, yeah.
But Dignitas didn't fall for that. ADRD was too wise to those plans, so lots of levels of interplay there.
Yeah, and also just trying to zone them out to get some of these turn-ins going on. 19 gems here as they're trying to put on some pressure towards Shrimpy. That's actually a few chain bombs landed on towards JPL and Shrimpy there, so got to be very, very careful about that.
We have the imposing will now for Tyrael. We've got a continuous struggle here. I want to still applaud Dignitas a little bit on the way they defended those attacks. They managed it really well.
Yeah. Without losing any keeps is all the importance of all of this. Eternal being slowed down by Zarmany up towards the top. If the fights are spread out, that's better for Dignitas here for a moment up until, you know, Kael'thas tries to get the landing of kills. But if you can zone out Kerrigan from your damage dealers, that's all you need to at this point.
Zarmany pulling back here. Blue Web Weavers released. Well done by them, forcing that payoff anyway.
Yeah.
Now, those Web Weavers don't start far ahead. It will be easy to defend the middle one. The top and the bottom are very far back, so this isn't going to be an amazing Web Weavers phase, most likely. Dignitas now coming in, going for the hard engage. Eldruin's might in. We've got the smite, Gravity Lapse on Uther. He's taking damage, Flame Strike. And the Phoenix being used. Blessed Shield, and Uther will have to use Divine Shield on himself. Fairly significant. Certainly a more significant cooldown than Phoenix.
Significant, especially because they didn't really waste too much for that. They didn't waste that much health. They didn't really hard engage fully into them. Navi knew they had to back off. But now, 60 seconds where they don't have Divine Shield, they could make something happen at one of these keeps, especially this one with the Web Weaver up towards the top.
Yeah, Blessed Shield will be back 15 seconds quicker than Divine Shield.
Yeah.
And they've got those Web Weavers. So the next 30 seconds are going to be key for Dignitas. They're closing in the experience already. They're getting this forward. So this is going to be one of the most key moments in the game right here as Eternal is trying to get his team to be level 16.
Shrimpy going to kind of clean up those waves for a moment there. Sorry, Snitch cleaning that up against Shrimpy. He was hoping that they'd walk into those waves, so maybe take a bit more damage, but that's not to be the case.
Lockdown on Johanna with the frozen waste. Not too big of a deal. Alex the Pro G kind of pushing those spiders away. We've got JPL coming in here, starting to do some damage, even using Envenom on Zarmany.
Bit ambitious, not really going to do too much there.
Like,
so that
I want this on cooldown. I want to use it again in a minute.
45 seconds, let's go.
Now, Divine Shield is back, Phoenix is not yet, and Natus Vincere is up a talent and up a level.
Yeah. But at least still, Dignitas delaying things out. This next Web Weaver push, though, is going to be quite pivotal.
Yeah.
Need to clean this up. But thankfully, again, with Kael'thas having his chain bombs as he does, it's a little bit easier to deal with now.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got a great way to depush waves, and they probably don't need to do so in front of their own gates. They can quite comfortably defend from behind. Just making sure they don't get pulled in by sweeping grass from behind the gate. Something which can surprise some players sometimes.
They definitely don't have that luxury up towards the mid, though. So they're going to try and clean that up. Likewise, actually taking big damage already. This is very hard. Even before the Web Weavers got into this location, Atheros moving on in with Eldruin's might. Blinks on forwards. Gravity Lapse catch Shrimpy. A few chain bombs go down on towards them. But Zarmany, they don't prop the Divine Palm. That's a great move by Navi.
Yeah, well done by Navi. Divine Palm is down. And he doesn't have the Calm Repose level 20 upgrade. No one ever really does. So that heroic is gone for now. Now they've got to rely purely on Sanctification to save anyone who gets caught. A daunting task.
Very, very difficult now as Arthuro is going to move on forwards, trying to push them away. They don't really want to take the fight. Level 16s have just hit in here for Dignitas, but that's a big Wailing Arrow, able to hit quite a few of them. That's a great combo there going in. ADRD keeps himself alive with the dimensional shift on out of there, but still, they have lost members. With Kael'thas already dying off, they're still on the hunt.
Yeah, the Sanctification being too late to save Keothas. It has a small delay in casting, about half a second or so, and he wasn't able to save. Very impressed that they made it out with 4 people alive out of that very scary situation.
Definitely. That could have been way worse. With how that Wailing Arrow hit like 4 or 5 of them.
4-man Wailing Arrow. Tyrael did position himself well. He stayed out of it and was able to do Sanctification, but it was a little bit too late.
Arthuro's going quite far forwards here. Does he have Elder Rune's Might available to him? The stunts keep on going there, and he will be able to get on out. But at the same time, that was a great burst strike forwards from Shrimpy. JPL chases with the Haunting Wave as well. Great kill.
Yeah, he took too much damage before Elder Rune's Might, and now even though Alex the Prodigy has no mana, they can guarantee the takedown here of the boss because no Elder Rune's Might to cancel it.
It was a beautiful rotation of stuns on towards Arthuro. Really well done, really well orchestrated. Oh, those chain bombs.
Yeah, they're going to do a fair amount of damage.
Did you see how they split, though?
Yeah.
Like in a dice 5-man?
Oh, and the bracket's taken down. It's a 4 versus 4. The boss is mostly hitting Team Na'Vi. This could be the turnaround. Is it going to be a throw pit? Yes!
Oh, my.
Uther gets taken down. He'll still be able to heal people. JPL narrowly gets out with the Haunting Wave. Wailing Arrow!
Oh, they're going to be able to get anybody else here. It looks like they're going to be able to clean it up. Oh my god, the sustain out of all of this. They managed to get themselves the boss, and they know that that is a huge pickup there for Na'Vi. It was a great attempt at an engage being 4-on-5 from Dignitas, but oh my god.
Wow, that quest turned upon the edge of a knife. Na'Vi was able to control the chaos in the best way. They got the boss. They're going to get level 20 in just 15 seconds or so, maybe 20, and they have a 3-for-4 advantage in that takedown. Aggressive defense taken on Kerrigan. She can really prep up her shields before the next engagement and enter combat with 1500 bonus HP.
And that's one of the things that really saved her during those fights. She didn't have healing later on during that fight. Having these talents, these lingering essence as well as aggressive defense helps so much in that instance. She's gaining so much shields whilst doing damage in there, and they've got themselves their 3rd keep. Na'Vi is on the warpath.
Yeah, and Dignitas is feeling desperation in this game, and you know what form desperation takes? Taking backdraft on Keothas against a composition like the opponent, not going for the arcane barrier. That is pretty much trying to just get the most out of your aggressive potential, because at this point they can't pussyfoot around this game anymore. They need to have a really strong impact in fights, and they've got to make something happen soon.
They've got to take a 5-man wipe.
Yeah.
Something like that. Maybe even multiple times.
Yeah.
In this situation. They're going to take themselves to hard camp towards middle here, but now level 20s against level 18. Blink, Hardened Shield, a second Blink, Redemption, and a second Hardened Shield on the side here of Na'Vi. And with the Web Weavers coming along as well, this could potentially be core.
Yeah, I've seen few situations where this is possible to defend. They even have Bruiser Camp.
Oof.
And 3 lane catapults plus Web Weavers against no fortifications.
And the Web Weavers descending very, very close towards the core here, down towards the bottom lane. Likewise mid as well as top also pushing in quite heavily. Dignitas on the back foot at the moment. They have been completely ransacked here in this series. There goes Ethernal trying to blink on in there with the Maelstrom, and that's huge damage they're taking there. Huge damage.
Divine Ball misses because of the shield, and Snitch will get taken out in short order right afterwards. JPL on the warpath takes him down. And that is going to be game, ladies and gentlemen. Na'Vi will have the 2-0 victory, advance out of Group A, the most hot and contested of groups, and will advance to the top 4.
And not only a 2